Hello and welcome to another JunoViewer webinar. My name is Philip and I'm a project manager here at Lonrix. Today I'd like to guide you through some of the functionality available in our forecast view. Before diving in, I'll briefly discuss a few prerequisites required in JunoViewer for the view to work. And there we'll spend 10 or 15 minutes together in the forecast view. For those of you who requested and received JunoViewer login details to the training account, please sign in now and feel free to follow along when we get there. Finally, we'll wrap things up with a time of Q&A. So feel free to type your questions via the Q&A button throughout the webinar. And if you have any problems, please ask in the chat. So requirements. Firstly, in order to use the forecast view, you need a ForwardWorks program loaded into JunoViewer. This program can be developed in JunoViewer or it can come from external software. Secondly, you need a DMS file set up and loaded into JunoViewer. Finally, these two need to be linked in order to create and run a forecast model, which can then be viewed in the forecast view. To learn more about ForwardWorks programs and modeling in JunoViewer, I highly recommend you spend some time watching the tutorial videos available on our YouTube channel. If you Google JunoViewer modeling tutorial episode 1, you'll find the first video. And we'll also include a link to that in the show notes. For the purposes of today's webinar, we have a forecast model set up in the training account, which means we're all ready to use the forecast view. So let's go there now. Right. So from the JunoViewer homepage, you'll find the forecast view under the FWP menu. In the next pop-up, we need to select our network name, training network, and the FWP version we want to view. You'll find a ForwardWorks program corresponding with your training login number. So I'll use Philip if you select your one, and once you've done that, you can click the select and check button. Now you would have seen that we have standard and light mode. There's slight differences between these, but we can cover those at a later date. But as I've stuck with standard for now. Before we go into detail, I'll give you an overview of the page. Along the top here is the main menu where the bulk of the functionality sits. The lines portion of the page is containing your FWP or your works program. So from the left, we've got location information for each treatment length in your ForwardWorks program. We have a column indicating if there are any corresponding field notes or photos associated with that treatment length. And most importantly, your treatments and forecast data for each of the modeled years. Here, we're told in the main toolbar that we're looking at surface age and the surface age for each treatment length. Now, you can see that 1 year is added each year that we step forward. We refer to this as the deterioration rate. You can also see after a treatment that the surface age is reset to 0, and the next year it's 1. So we call this the reset values. This pattern of deterioration and reset is common for many modeled parameters, such as rutting, roughness, and texture. As mentioned previously, you can learn more about the modeling in JunoViewer on our YouTube channel. The yellow and red cells that you see here, they represent the warning and severe limits for the selected parameter. So for our surface age, we've said that after 10 years, we're in warning territory, and after 15 years, we're in severe territory. This can all be changed in your DMS file. Along the bottom of the page is the summary toolbar, which in orange here, which gives you a high-level view of the entire ForwardWorks program. So when I first open the forecast view, I want to sort my treatment lengths. So if I go to the sort icon here, the A and Z with the arrow, I want to sort it by section label 1, which is my my section label 2, which is my subsection, location, and then lane. If I click apply, and that'll reorder my my ForwardWorks program like that. Next, I want to see more information that I have loaded against each of my treatment lengths. So if I go to the spanner icon and down to the display information columns, I can select what I want to see. I'll select the length, area, width, and surface age. Okay, and apply. So now that's set up, how I like to see it. So with that all set up, I'll work through some of the main features, starting with our main toolbar. So the home icon will bring you back to the JunoViewer homepage. The folder icon enables you to change the mode, and move to another network or select another ForwardWorks program. The spanner icon opens your options. So working from the top here, I can change the default parameter that I'm viewing in the page. So I'm going to select NASRA. You can also change the statistic that you want to see for that default parameter. So change it to mean. You can feel free to change it to in any of these. You can also change the width of your columns. I'm going to leave mine at narrow. The treatment change toggle, this will determine whether you need to enter a reason and comment when you change a treatment. We'll get to the treatment change functionality later, but I'll leave that one on. Highlight treatments when grouped. We've got a grouping functionality, and this just determines whether that cell is highlighted. I can show you that in just a minute. We can display our treatment years in different ways. So the most common way is for, say, 2015 would be displayed as 15-16, which is the 2015-2016 construction season. So I'll change that there. And we can also change how our location is displayed. I'm just going to keep it as to how it was imported in the ForwardWorks program. We've already looked at the information columns. If I click apply, you can see the changes have been applied. So you can see that my year is now formatted differently, and we're now looking at the mean NASRA rather than the 90th percentile surface age. For the next few icons, when we set up a ForwardWorks program in JunoViewer, we can divide it into groups. So for this test ForwardWorks program, I set up 3 groups: Road 1, Road 2, and Road 3. If I click on the 5th icon here with the 4 squares, it's going to collapse my ForwardWorks program into those groups. And this is where that highlight toggle will change. So it's going to highlight these cells which contain a treatment. If I was to turn this off, then they would no longer be highlighted. If you've got many different groups in your ForwardWorks program, it'll be a little bit more applicable. To open just one group, I can select the group I want to see, and then the next icon with the 3 lines, I click that. it'll just open the treatment links which fall within that group. Just to view all treatment links now, I can select the icon with more lines on it, the fourth one from the left. So next, we'll look at the filter. So if we open our filter options, it basically enables you to select a section or a subsection. You can have a look at only warning or only severe limits, and you can specify which treatments you want to see and which years. So I want to just look at my section 1. I'll look at all subsections. I'm just going to leave the condition filtering. Now I only want to view treatment links where I have a treatment. So I'll deselect no treatments, and I'm interested in all years. If I click apply, then every treatment link now will have a treatment in it from section 1. And you can clear the filter in that pop-up, or you can simply click there. This action removes existing filters, okay, and we're back to our full ForwardWorks program. So for the next icon, this is our the magnifying glass. It's called a quick audit. So we need to select a treatment, and if we click the magnifying glass, this enables us to view information around that treatment, when it was added, who added it, where it was added, if it was added as part of an import from Excel, or if it was added here in the forecast view or in the field inspection tool. You can also see reasons and comments, and if the treatment was changed, what was the last treatment. The next icon is our edit treatment length engine. So if I open that, for the selected treatment length, which is 0 to 90, we've got a few different things that we can do with it. We can split it, and by default, it's going to split right in the middle. We can change the limits. So here we can't go any less than 0, but we could change it to say 250. And in that case, it would knock 60 meters off the next treatment length, and to ensure that they always join up. We can also add a new treatment. So if I wanted to have, say if I wanted to split this treatment into 3, I wanted a new treatment right in the middle, I could create a treatment from 70 to 130. If I added that, I'd get a brand new treatment right in the middle. We can also split your treatment length into lanes. So you'll see in the background here, all my lanes, all my treatment lengths are currently all lanes. Some of these I may want to do a different treatment in my left lane as opposed to my right lane. So I can select L1, R1, and split treatment. Adversely, if I want to join my lane treatments into all, I can do that here. So if this was a separate lane treatment, then I could group it. So I'll just do a simple one for now. You're welcome if you're following along to change them however you like. I'm just going to split my one right down the middle. And so you can see now that this first treatment length has been split 0 to 95, 95 to 190. And you'll notice that the treatment strategy has also been duplicated. So we'll remove those in just a minute. The next icon here enables you to clone your ForwardWorks program. So this is handy if you have a master ForwardWorks program and you're just wanting to make some adjustments to see, say, what effect it'll have on the budgets or on your total quantities, then you're able to give it a new name and make a copy of it. We've looked at the sorting functionality. So next is our treatment change. So in order for the treatment change to pop up to work, you have to select the treatment length. And let's say we want to delete our treatments from the second treatment length here. So I'll select my heavy maintenance, open up my treatment pop-up, and I want to remove the treatment. Now it's asking me for a reason and a comment. If I do that, you might have seen that this said waiting. It was rerunning the forecast model just for that treatment length. And out of interest, if I click our quick audit now, I can see that I changed the treatment to nothing because there's nothing here. And it's got the date and where I changed it and what the treatment was previously. Now, if I come here and turn my treatment change toggle off, apply. And so for this one, I also want to remove it. It's not going to ask me for any reason or comment, and it'll just remove it for me. Now, as well as removing treatments, you can obviously just change a treatment. So if I want to change my heavy maintenance to an SMA, then it'll do that for me. The next icon here is our show underlying model data. And so if I select the treatment length and open this pop-up, this is great if you're analyzing your model output. So you're running your forecast model and you want to see what effect various triggers or deterioration rates are having. So here we can see all our modeled parameters, and then year by year we can see what's happening with them. So if we look at our rut, for example, you can see that it's deteriorating each year, and then you can see in 2022 that we have a treatment, and so it's been reset by whichever rate was, whatever reset value was assigned for that treatment. And then you can see that it starts deteriorating again. Now, you can also set modeled parameters for your deterioration rates. And so here, previous to any treatment, the rut rate, the rut deterioration, was 0.57 millimeters per year. After, the deterioration was 0.04 millimeters per year. And then 1 year after that, it changed to 0.02 millimeters. So there's all sorts of things that you can change in the DMS file. It can be quite a simple model, or it can be incredibly complex. But it's all done in Excel. And so again, if you ever look at those tutorial videos, you'll be able to learn more there. So yep, this is a great way to view your forecast model data. Now these information columns that we've got with our ForwardWorks program, with our treatment length, sorry. If I select one of these and open my eye icon, this gives me the ability to change those. So we can, if say the surface age was wrong, or there was a comment in here that we wanted to enter, then we could do that here. If I close that, then that'll be updated. So moving to the right-hand side of our text here, we've got individual graphs for each treatment length. So this one will show us our model data. So this is the data as it's forecast into the future. And you can select any of our parameters and the statistic that we want to see. Next, we can view a cost breakdown. Now, we've got basically an unlimited budget for this ForwardWorks program, but if you're working with budgets, then this will be really helpful. But here for this treatment length, we can see the cost of that treatment. in thousands. So there's a few different options here for ways to view your data, the ways to view your cost data. We can also view historical data. So if I look at a rut trend for my treatment length, or I can look at roughness, scatter, these can all be set up if you contact Lonrix support, if you want to see some that you don't yet have in your forecast view. The printer icon enables you to print out a full model report. Now, we probably spend a whole webinar looking at the model report, so we'll save that for then. But this is another great way to, I guess, put this data into Excel, plus a whole lot of other information, everything that you would need to know about your forecast model for further analysis. We've got a cut and copy and paste icon here, which you can use for cutting treatments and pasting them. So you can see I cut my heavy maintenance. I copied my heavy maintenance from there, and I pasted it here. I wanted to cut it, and then so that's removed it from there now, and let's put it down here. Paste. So that's another option, an alternative to using the treatment pop-up here. Now, these icons here, we talked about them earlier, they will show any field comments or photos with the corresponding treatment length. So if I open this, there's no photos, but I can see that some field notes have been taken. And so this icon here will pull up the same thing. I'm not sure if I've got any photos in this ForwardWorks program. Let's have a look. No, but if you had any photos taken in the field inspection tool or on the JunoViewer app, then they would show here as well. You can also show the treatment length on a map, and you can download your ForwardWorks program to Excel from the forecast view. So if we click that, then it's going to ask me where I want to save it and for a name, and then I'll be able to download it and save it into Excel. So just quickly, let's have a look at the summary information. So down in my orange summary toolbar here, we've got a cost summary. So if I click that, now so I can see all my numbers, I am actually going to widen my column width. I'll change it to medium, click apply. So you can see here that our budget is set to a ridiculous $1 billion. But if it was something more realistic, then this would come in a lot of handy. You can see how much you're spending and then what's left for each year. Let me just turn off my info columns, which will make the summary area a bit easier to see. The next icon, we can see a treatment summary. So here we're seeing the total length of each treatment in the ForwardWorks program. We can also view those by category. So if you click on the spanner here, group by category, and say we want to see kilometers rather than meters. I apply that. So we've just got 3 different treatment categories, and so that's aggregated all the different ones. So Recon AC and Recon S, they both fall into the reconstruction. So that's a nice way to view your treatment totals. You can also view KPI information. So these KPIs are set in your DMS file, and you can see for each year how you're going with the various KPIs that you've set. And if you click the spanner, it's a little different for each of the options. You can look at the KPIs by group, and you can select the different KPIs that you want to see. And then finally, cost breakdown. So these are the same graphs as what we were looking at from the top menu, except we're looking at them for the whole ForwardWorks program. And so on. So that's it for an overview of the forecast view. I can see that there are some questions, so I'll have a look at those. So the first question, if you clone your ForwardWorks program while you're in the forecast view, is the ForwardWorks program automatically loaded or do you have to select it? Let's have a look. So I'm just going to call this one clone. So what it does is it brings us back to our selection screen. And from here, I can select my clone ForwardWorks program and continue working. Good question. Answer live. Hello, amazing presenter. Thank you. How can I change treatment colors in the forecast view? I want to see a clear color difference for heavy and light treatment types. So these colors are set in your deterioration model setup file, the DMS file. And there is a help post in JunoViewer help on how to do this. Or if you'd like some more assistance, feel free to contact us at Lonrix support and we'll be able to give you a hand there. So you can change each treatment, can be any color that you like, based on a color hex code. When you remove the treatments, I noted that the forecast changed accordingly. Are these changes stored back to the model results automatically? Yes. So when you change a treatment, so all of your modeled forecast data, that's also saved against your ForwardWorks program when you run your forecast model. And so any changes here will be automatically saved against that ForwardWorks program. Now, I may as well mention it now. If you're in the light mode, which we looked at before, if you change a treatment, it doesn't save those changes. The reason we've gone with a light mode is because if you've got a large ForwardWorks program, say 50,000 treatment lengths, it takes a long time to rerun the model. Even for one record, the processing time was a bit longer. So we added the light mode so that users could change a whole bunch of treatments around. And then when they leave the forecast view, then they have to go and rerun their forecast model. Hello, fantastic team Lonrix. Thank you. Is it true that JunoViewer supports only short-term models? What is the maximum number of years that JunoViewer model supports? It is not true that JunoViewer supports only short-term models. We're very, very flexible. You can have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, all the way up to 35 years, I think, or maybe 45 years. If you send me an email, I will find out and I'll let you know exactly how many years, but it is, I think, longer than anyone needs. Is it possible to see the location of a treatment length on a map? Yes, by clicking the map icon here, you should be able to see the location of the treatment length. You will be able to see the location of the treatment length. Are the lengths shown in the bottom grid centerline lengths or lane lengths? So the length that we're seeing here, that's also set in your DMS file. So one of your modeled parameters, we move that and have a look here. You can see that my top modeled parameter is actually length. So we have a parameter, and these top three, those are mandatory parameters. This is where you can determine what is your length. And so for some models, your length might just be your start location minus your end location minus the start location of the treatment length. But often what we're finding is users are wanting lane length to be their length. And so they do end minus start multiplied by the number of lanes. And so the DMS file, because it's based in Excel, you can create formulas and do whatever you like. So the the lengths that you're going to see here, those are based on that length parameter. So I'm not sure what this one is, but it's either going to be length or lane length. And that's all the Q&A. So unless anyone has any other questions, I want to thank you so much for your time and for watching. I hope that you were able to learn something, and please do let us know, support@lonrix.com, if you have any other questions about this or anything else to do with JunoViewer, or even any life advice. We'd be happy to throw in our few cents. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in a few weeks.